What are these questions?
They're
I'm not
just normal
answering all
questions.
this. No.
What do you mean? No. The normal
Did my
questions.
manager not give you the protocol for my podcast? Like, did you
Just
not get the
please.
protocol?
No, please.
No, I'm not answering all this, bro.
What?
No.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, it's just questions. I know you can't.
Action.
Hi, I'm Anhad,
And I'm Rabia.
and this is Peer on Peer. Hey guys, welcome to Peer on Peer, powered by Content Studio. I am your host Anhad, and if this is your first time over here on Peer, basically we talk. We're just two young people talking about life, getting real, and I ask questions to the guest of the day. Talking about the guest, today we have a very special guest with us. She is a national title holder of Miss Teen Earth India. She is also a model, dancer, actor, and environmental activist. Please welcome Rabia.
Hi, Anhad.
Hi Rabia, what's up?
Nothing much. It's been, I think, almost a month that I've been back from my college. I'm here for summer break and I'm loving being back home. Family, a lot of work happening, and it's all good.
That's exciting. So let's just start. Okay, so the first question is, so what really got you into pageants?
Honestly, I don't think it was on my cards. Like, I always had like an inclination to it, but I never thought I would go through with it. But I think 11th starting, mid somewhere, I told my mom that like I feel like I need to do something more than just like studying and going to college. And we thought that why not try pageantry out, and I applied for Miss Teen Diva, and from then I've never looked back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So where did you go to school?
So I completed my schooling from the Shriram School at Ravli, and yeah.
Wait, so your pageant was when you were in 12th grade?
Yeah, so when I applied for my pageant, I was 16, I think. Yeah, I was 16, and it was 11th mid. And then towards it, like I feel like 12 months I trained for it, and then I went for it when I was about to go to 12th. So 12th, the entire 12th grade, I was like a ringing queen. So I won the
Okay.
pageant in 12th. Yeah.
So that's crazy. You had to like study. So how do you manage like studying and preparing for the pageant?
Oh, that was a roller coaster on its own, definitely. Because 11th is also like, when you decide your career, your stream, you get your applications ready, and it's like, it's crazy, right? So I had my pageant on one side, and then I had my schooling, my boards ka prep on one side, and then I had my portfolio building on one side. Because I decided to go for fashion design and management. So for that, you need like a whole portfolio, and I spent my entire 12th grade, 11th grade building that portfolio along with my pageantry and my schooling. So it was definitely it was not very easy, I would say. I had to obviously learn the art of balancing at a very young age, but with the help of my parents, my family, my school in fact was very supportive, and my teachers at EdNet, that's where I took my career counseling from. So they were very supportive about it, and they helped me through it all.
Yeah, I feel like a support system is like really helpful in like whatever you want to do.
Definitely.
Yeah. So where do you go to college?
So currently I'm studying at the Parsons School of Design, and I'm studying strategic design and management. So it's a fashion business management course.
And why do you choose to study that?
That's actually very interesting. So I wasn't initially planning on going into like a creative stream of sorts, but I was planning to just like do a business degree and then see where that leads me. But at the same time, I think after my pageant, I realized that I do have an inclination towards the fashion world as well. And I've been learning art since I was 5 years old. So I feel like all of that came in together, and that's how I decided that I want to do something fashion but also business related, and that's why I chose this course.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So let's get a little bit real. So like, what do you feel are like some struggles you've had throughout the process?
Throughout the process, struggles. I feel like while I was preparing for the pageant and when I won the pageant, both those years were COVID years. So yeah, won it.
Yeah.
So both those years were COVID years. So I feel like there was a lot of struggle there because, of course, as we were not living a very normal life, right? We were all like in our houses, we were on no contact. So that in itself was a different journey altogether. But touchwood, like I've been very lucky. I've been able to manage it all, and it came out. It all worked out for me, and I learned so much. I feel like the entire process of it became a lot more different, and it became a little harder because it was COVID and there were so many precautions and a new set of rules to follow and live by. But I feel like it worked out, and it taught me a lot as well.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you. I mean, COVID was definitely like really hard.
Yeah.
So you do pageants. So like, what do you do in your free time? Like, what are your hobbies? What do you do when you're not doing pageants?
When I'm not doing pageant work, I love to dance. I'm a dancer. I'm a hardcore dancer, and dance is like my go-to therapy. Whether I'm happy, whether I'm sad, dancing is where I express it all out. So I definitely focus a lot on dance. I love attending workshops, choreographing, doing dance collaborations. But apart from that, I love spending time with my family, my pet. So I have a golden retriever called Sparky. Yeah,
So
and
cute.
he's like my entire life and soul. So definitely like spending time with my family and friends.
Okay, so what is it that you exactly do as Miss Teen Earth India?
So definitely, being a title holder comes with its own set of responsibility, its own set of duties and power as well. So I plan, and I continue to, and I plan to ahead as well, use this power and this title for good. My advocacy is afforestation and deforestation. So I actively spread the message of how important it is for us to plant trees, for us to fight against deforestation, to promote afforestation, and also just to choose a sustainable lifestyle, to be more eco-conscious, because we all are aware how big of an issue climate change is. And though we have the education about it, the awareness about it, we fail to take action. So my aim and my goal is to spread awareness where we are actually taking action towards it.
That's amazing. So like, do you like work with different companies or NGOs, or like, do you work with someone, or do you do
So-
it on your own?
Yeah, so I have, in collaboration with organizations like Act Now and kids from the modern, like students from the modern school who are in the modern school as an environment club. So they themselves, so in collaboration with that and in collaboration with other organizations, I organize tree plantation drives and awareness workshops as well. Yeah.
That's kudos to you. That's like amazing. So next question. So like, I feel like confidence, like how important do you think confidence is, like especially as someone who has to like go on stage, do interviews like this, like how important do you think confidence is?
I think confidence is the core of it all. Like, you need to believe in yourself. You need to be believing in what you're standing up for, what you're representing. And that only comes when you have the confidence in yourself. And this entire industry is about not losing faith in yourself and about having confidence in yourself. Because without it, you feel you're just in one corner. You feel you let your insecurities take over, and that never ends up well. So
Imposter syndrome, I feel like it's something a lot of people suffer with, where you feel like what you're doing is not what you're supposed to be doing. Like you feel like an imposter in your own field or work. So have you ever faced imposter syndrome, and how do you deal with it if you did face it?
I don't think I've really faced the imposter syndrome, because I've always really believed in what I was doing. But definitely before I was about to go for my my national pageant was held in Jaipur and then in Delhi. It was in two cities, and it was the around 9 to 10 days long, right? So I think a month before I was supposed to leave for my pageant, I had a feeling like I'm not worthy enough, and I haven't prepared enough, and I can't do this. Like, I cannot go on stage and I can't win this, so I need to back out. And I had a conversation with my parents about it, and I was like, listen, I think I need to take another year or do something else, but I don't think I can go next month and perform. And my parents were like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And then I was, in fact, 2 days later, I was about to call the organization and I was tell them that, I was about to tell them I'm not going to be doing the pageant. And then my parents sat me down and they had a conversation. They're like, you've worked 11 months for this. Like, every day you've trained, you've spent hours on this. Are you sure you don't even want to try it out? And with motivation from them and a little bit guidance, I decided that I will be going through with it. And then I ended up winning. And that journey is that entire journey, it was, I feel like how I've transformed because of that 1 week of being in that pageant and getting the title. Like, the empowerment I got from it will be staying with me throughout my life. And I am so glad that I chose to go through with it.
Yeah, like you have amazing parents. Like I feel like they predicted the future. Like just imagine if you didn't do the pageant, you like won it. So that's like amazing.
I don't think I see my life without that experience, that journey anymore. Like it's become such a big part of my identity and who I am now.
Yeah, that's amazing. So also like how do you deal with like any negativity, whether it's either on social media or during the pageant? Like I definitely feel like that could be like, some negativity coming from like, other people, or how do you deal with it?
Yeah, so definitely, when I won, a lot of contestants that maybe were not that close to me or didn't know me well enough had the opinion of like, oh, Rabia did not deserve to win. Or maybe someone else could have been crowned. And I think that each person is entitled to their own opinion. So that's fine. But obviously for someone who's hearing it, they do feel bad. They do feel let down. And I definitely felt very hurt. But what helped me the most through my entire journey so far, in fact, because the more good that you do, you will also be getting bad opinions on it. Like it's both ways. So what helps me is I actively practice meditation and grounding, shielding. I focus a lot on my mental health, my well-being. I practice self-love because it empowers me with the tools that I need to excel in my day-to-day work.
Yeah, that's amazing. I definitely
Yeah.
feel like you need to like, take time out, like focus on your mental health, on yourself, and like meditation is a great way to do that, I feel like.
Definitely being a part of this industry, being the part of like the modeling industry or even the pageant industry for that matter, like it's very important that you yourself keep a positive outlook and that you really believe in what you're doing, because the
Yeah,
struggle is real. Like to be
definitely.
somewhere you have to go through it, and you can't, and that the entire game is to not give up, to keep patient and to keep believing in yourself. So self-love and meditation really helped me through it all.
Yeah, that's amazing. So do you feel like social media plays like a big role in your life as you've, won the pageant, like social media, I feel like.
I don't think it was a very prominent part of my life before I went for the pageant, but after I won the pageant, definitely it did get me some recognition, and a large part of it was social media. So ever since then, it's been a big part of my life, and I'm also an influencer along with being a pageant title holder, and I think both of those things go hand in hand, right? So social media is a key
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah. So do you also feel that do you think social media is a more positive or more negative like impact on you? Because I feel like it has both, right? But like for you, do you feel like it's done more positive or more negative?
For me, it's definitely done more positive. And I'll tell you what, I feel like social media or anything for that matter, any such tool, it's important how you use it. That's all that's all that matters. Like it can have a good impact and a negative impact depending on how you use it. It's up to
Yeah.
you on how you end up utilizing it, right? And for me, social media has been a very positive tool. For like, it's helped me grow, it's helped me gain more recognition, it's helped me learn so much, and it's helped me reach more people with my goal, with my advocacy, with my initiative as well. In fact, I feel like social media in itself plays a valid role when you utilize it to spread a proper message. Like for me, because I am from the fashion industry, I'm studying to be in the fashion industry. So definitely what I do is I make an active effort to choose sustainable fashion, to choose eco-conscious fashion. And even when I collaborate, I ensure that most of the brands that I'm collaborating with or I'm working with are spreading that message as well, or are aligned with the same goals as well, so that even when it goes on my social media, my supporters, my followers, what they see is also something that I truly believe in, which is leading a more eco-conscious life.
So let's talk about beauty standards on like social media, right? I feel like I myself sometimes compare myself, whether it's like, because I'm an actor as well, so sometimes I compare myself to other performances or other people. Do you feel like sometimes you compare yourself on social media with like other people?
I feel like more than comparison, you judge your own content a lot. Like you judge a lot on like, oh, should I post this? Like, what will this particular group of friends think about it? What will like that particular group of my followers think about me posting this reel? Like, will I get enough views? Will I get enough likes? And I think that's when you start ruining your own self-esteem. That's when social media really gets to you, because I definitely went through a phase when I was like, oh, I've won now. You know, I'm a title holder, so should I be posting this or should I be posting that? And that got into my head a lot. But like, I feel like after I went through that phase, I kind of with my friends and my parents, obviously I discussed it with them, and they were like, Rabia, people like you and they follow you because of who you are, and what you're being online is also what you're in real life. You aren't faking it, so don't try to be something you're not. And I think that's when I seriously started taking that advice. And even now, whatever content I post, I always make sure that it's not made up. It's not too too pageant girl, too pageant patty, or if it's not too, you know, orchestrated. Like, it has to be natural, it has to be who you are, and that's what I try to showcase. And ever since I've started posting content like that, I honestly have stopped caring enough about, am I getting enough likes, am I getting enough views. Like, if the audience likes it, they'll show you love. If they don't like it, then try something else out.
Yeah, I feel like just being real is the key for everything. Like, being fake, like, you can see celebrities when they're being real, when they're being fake. Like, I feel like in our generation, just being real is the way to go. Like, that, just be your natural, authentic self, and you'll get love. Or I feel like,
yeah, and definitely, like, in the industry that I am, a lot of people end up getting confused between what's real and what's real.
yeah,
And there's a very thin line between that, because like, you're living a life both online and offline, right? But getting the important part is to balance those out and not let one take over the other.
yeah, definitely. And so we've talked about beauty standards online. Now let's talk about beauty standards offline. Like, in your pageant, like, you know, industry, do you feel like, again, same question, like, do you feel like there are, like, because of beauty standards, do you feel like you compare yourself either to the contestants or earlier winners, or like, again, like, what do you feel about that?
You know, everyone has this like general opinion, or pageantry is about showing how pretty you are, or how good your body is, or how dazzling your clothes are, and you know, just like coming on the ramp, giving a nice walk and walking away. But it's really not that. There's a lot more to it. Yes, I do agree that beauty standards might be an aspect of it, but it's the same with the model industry. It's the same with the acting industry, but the pageant industry gets criticized a lot more for it, and I don't believe that's true. And it's also on how you take it to be. When I went for my pageant, I took it as a journey where I got a chance to showcase who I am, and that's what I focused on. I didn't focus on looking perfect or looking pretty or looking a particular size or looking like giving a particular angle. Like, I didn't think about all those things, and if I did, then obviously I would be swept away with insecurities, with opinions.
Yeah,
Then I probably would not be where I am today. I went in with the motivation and the focus of like, I need to just do well with how I've trained and represent who I am, because that's what the organization, that's what your judges are looking for. They're not looking for someone with a perfect queen. They're looking for someone with the potential to be a good influence, to be a good leader for the industry, for the organization, and to represent my country, your country, beautifully.
yeah, definitely. So again, you study at Parsons, right? So that isn't that like the Harvard of like the fashion industry? So like, how do you choose, you know, going to Parsons, and how was the application process? Like, how was that for you?
So, to be very honest, Parsons was not even in my college application list. Like,
Okay.
I wasn't even applying to it. I was just focusing on building my portfolio for colleges like LCF and CSM. So, my career counselor Niharika, so she saw my portfolio and she goes like, you know what, Rabia, you should give Parsons a shot as well. And I was like, ma'am, there is no way I'm getting in. It's the Harvard of fashion. Like, there is no way I'm getting into Parsons. Then she goes like, how does it matter? Give it a try. If you don't get in, you don't get in. So 2 days before the application deadline is when I submitted my portfolio, and a couple of months later, I had my acceptance letter, and that was such an emotional moment for both my family and I, because I was so scared for the result, because I was like, this was the college I could not even dream of going to, because I never felt like I had the skill set to get acceptance into such a big college. And then I still remember I had my English literature pre-board the next day, and I'm sitting in my study table, and I get the email, And I call my parents and I'm like, you have to come home right now. And I go to there's like a tiny Gurdwara in my house. So I go to the Gurdwara and I'm sitting there with my phone and it's like in front of me and I'm not opening the email. I wait for my parents to come, my brother to come, my sister to come. And all of us are just praying that it's a yes. And I open the acceptance letter and the first thing is, congratulations, you've been accepted. And right there, I started crying. I was like, oh my God, like I've
Yeah.
gotten to the college that I could not even imagine of getting into. My mom was crying, my dad was crying, and I think it's a core memory for me. It was a
Yeah.
very momentous occasion, and I feel like I'm very lucky to be able to go to Parsons and to get the education that I'm getting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like whether you're performing on stage, whether you're acting on stage, whether you're on a podcast, like I feel like there's so much anxiousness, nervousness. So like how do you personally deal with anxiousness or nervousness before going on stage?
I don't think about it.
Hmm.
I don't think about on stage, especially if I'm performing. I don't think about मुझे left में जाके ये move देना है, मुझे right में जाके turn करना है, or like center stage पे I have to give a pose. I just don't think about it because I'm like, I've prepped for this. Like I've been
Yeah.
given instructions for this. Like it's done. Like I know my brain knows what to do. If I keep thinking about it, I am gonna mess up. So the one thing that I like truly believe, whether it's giving an interview, whether it's dancing, whether it's doing a ramp walk on stage, I just believe like I just take a deep breath and let it all out, because every single time I'm in front of a camera I get butterflies, even if it's just during a shoot, like a modeling
Yeah.
shoot, right? So what I just do is I just take a deep breath in and out, and I just let all my anxiety and nervousness go out in that deep breath, and then I just keep my mind clear. I don't let myself overthink about, oh, am I doing this right? Is my hand in the right place? Is my leg moving right? I stop thinking about all these things, and it happens because when you're doing it, when you've been in the industry for so long, like your body does know what to do.
Yeah.
Just don't overthink it. That's what I would suggest. Like, don't overthink anything.
Yeah.
Let it happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, for me, I like dealt with it for so long. Like, I was on Kingdom of Dreams for a few years, and I just remember like I would some performances I would just get so anxious. I feel like, but also I feel like a little bit of that anxiousness helps you.
It
It
does.
like pushes you. I feel
It
like
does. It's the butterflies.
yeah, it's the
the
butterflies. They
butterflies.
help you like
Yeah.
because like that's what makes you confident. Also, I feel like that's what lets it out. I feel like if you're not really like nervous or anxious, you might like. It's part of the process. It's part of
Yeah.
performing, part of speaking, part of everything.
Initially, I used to think like, because even now, every time I go, right before I enter, I'm about to enter stage, I get butterflies. And initially, I used to be like, oh my God, I'm getting the butterflies. I'm gonna mess my performance up. But now it's more like it's like a welcoming feeling. Like I'm getting the butterflies because I'm about to go on stage. So I think it's also how you perceive
Yeah.
things, right? If you start taking the nervousness in a good way, in a positive way, then it's gonna end up with you getting positive results out of it.
So again, like you won the pageant. You got the crown. So how was that crowning moment? Like, how did it feel to you? Like, what was that feeling you had inside you?
Honestly, I was really, really scared that I wasn't expecting my name to be announced after top 10. I was really scared. I was like, it's a very 50-50 chance. And I remember they had this background music playing of like thak 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 thak, and literally my heart
Oh
was
my
literally
God.
going thak 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 thak. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. And I remember standing on stage and I had like these. I was standing in my pageant pose and I had like these crosses in my hand, and I was like. Say my name, and then the host they just went like the contestant, your new Miss Teen Earth India is contestant number 3, Rabia Hora. And I feel like that even then it didn't hit me that like I've won. I just remembered my name's being announced, I have to go ahead. So I went ahead. I could feel like something's being placed on my head. I can see that someone's making me wear a sash. I can see I'm taking like 10 different pictures, but it hadn't hit yet. Like it was not like, oh, I've won. And then I think like 2-3 minutes after that, I'm like standing on stage and I'm like, oh, there's a crown on my head. I'm wearing India ka sash. Like I'm wearing a sash that says that like I'm representing 1.4 billion people. I'm representing a nation. I'm representing my country. And that's when it hit. And then I look ahead and I see my parents have come to the front row and they're clapping and they're cheering. I see my dad, he has like this one tear falling from his face, and my mom is like so proud, and I have my grandparents in the background. My cousins are there and they're all shouting, and my best friends in fact also came to support me. So I had like my whole, like everyone who was precious
You had your
to
people
me,
with you.
I had
yeah.
my people right there like looking at me, and that's when it hit like, oh, I've won. and
Yeah.
and then I started crying.
Oh.
And I remember one of my co-queens just whispering like, don't cry, we have photos to take, don't cry, don't cry. But that moment, it was magical.
Like, you gotta give me the high five. That's crazy. So, how is participating, winning in pageants like helped you grow as a person?
I feel like it helped me, it gave me a sense of belonging, because it was a teen pageant, right? So I was also at the cusp of like figuring out who I am as a person, what's my role in this world. And pageantry really helped me find myself. In fact, it helped me figure out who Rabia is. It empowered me with the skill set that I need to be anywhere I want in the world today. Like it taught me so much about how to handle public, how to handle opinions, how to understand who I am, how to understand who other people are. Like a major thing that I learned from pageants was how to read people, how to behave with certain people. I feel like it's an exposure that, apart from a title and a crown, and apart from getting the opportunity to represent your country internationally and globally, it also teaches you so much about life skills and time management. In fact,
Yeah.
I was a big procrastinator, and I feel like pageantry and getting into modeling really helped me understand the value of like, I have to be on time, I have to reach on time, I have to get free from work also on time, because then
Yeah.
eventually I became a working person as well, right? So it definitely taught me a lot about professionalism, time management, so on and so forth. So it helped me a lot in a lot of personal aspects rather than just the parts that you see on camera.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, what is a piece of advice a mentor or a fellow peer, a friend, whoever gave you during your journey, which still has meaning to you till today?
So when I just started my journey, when I'd just gotten the audition email, the acceptance email from Miss Teen Diva saying that, oh, you've been selected as a national finalist for this pageant. So I remember my dad, he sat me down and he was like that, Rabia, this is a very small achievement. This is just one step towards a very big goal and a very long journey ahead. And he was like, don't focus on the goal, don't focus on the destination ki crown lana hai, jeetna hai, haarna hai. Don't focus on that. Focus on learning from the journey that you're going to experience. Focus on taking those experiences and learning out of them. Focus on learning from your mistakes. Just take it as a learning journey. Don't have any other goal from the journey except to learn and to become better. And apne aap, like, you'll reach your destination. And I think that's literally what happened. I definitely worked hard towards the crown, but I didn't make my entire focus on like, nahi, crown jeetna hai. It was like, I'm working hard towards my passion, towards my goal, and so if I deserve it, I will get the crown. But I also made so much of an effort to learn from my journey, my mistakes, the overall experiences that I got from it. And I think that's also the experiences are what form a person, a winner. The experiences are what teach you how you. The experiences are what make you into a
Yeah.
better person. So that's still something I follow. That's a mantra I still follow with every single part of my work.
Exactly. Like, I feel like if you look at it like life is a journey where there's so many goals you have. So you should really not focus on one specific goal. You should always focus on the journey, the experiences, the main journey. Like in life, like you could have different careers. You, like, for example, a kid in 12th right now has the goal as getting a good marks in boards. Whether someone who's like 25 is thinking about careers, and older thinking about marriage, kids. Like, everyone has different goals, so you shouldn't focus on one specific goal. You should focus on the journey, which you said beautifully. So
yeah, because it's also like, okay, fine, you achieved your goal, but now what?
exactly.
Like, I feel like you achieved your goal because you took your experiences as a learning. You took your mistakes your failures as a learning curve, and then that's how you eventually led to achieving your goal, because that's what make you someone who's worthy of leadership, someone who's worthy of a title.
Yeah, definitely. And like, you know, now you're Miss Teen Earth India.
Yeah.
So like, what is a piece of advice that you would give someone, a young girl or boy, whoever, who wants to go on the same path as you? What is something that you would like to say to them?
I think I would tell them to be patient and to not give up, because you know, throughout this entire journey there are moments where you feel like ki, like, let's leave it, like, why are we even doing this, like, let it be, I can do something else. But the thing is, you're doing this because you really want to do it. You're going on this path because you feel like you deserve to be a winner, right? And the one thing that I would advise them is to like be patient and to be hardworking and practice, practice, practice. Don't give up, because the more you practice, the better you become, the more you improve, and that is how also the better your performance turns out to be.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. I mean, and I feel like this advice could go to anyone who wants to do anything in life,
Mhm.
which is, you know, be patient.
Be
You'll
patient.
get
Yeah.
it. If you work hard, you'll get it.
Yeah, exactly. Because hard work takes its time to show its results, and patience is a quality that's required for you to let the hard work show its result.
Literally. Now, last question. This is a very, very serious question. So, dating life. So, do you feel like that, you know, pre-pageant and post-pageant, were you asked out by more people after the pageant or like before? Like, did it change or is it something interesting, you know?
Okay, so I definitely got a lot more attention after the pageant or proposals, as you said. But I don't think that's not my focus right now, and I don't think I'm even like focusing on my dating life or my romantic life as such. Like, if it has to happen, it'll happen. There's plenty of time for it. I'm focusing more on like what I have to like achieve in terms of goals, in terms of success. In fact, I have my international pageant coming up in a month. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
so I'm
That's
finally
exciting. That's
definitely,
exciting.
yeah. So I'm finally about to represent my country internationally at Miss Teen Earth. That's gonna happen in a month, and I'm super super excited for it. And that's my main goal and aim and focus right now. So yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I wish you the best of luck for that and your entire goals, your journey, everything.
You were just watching Peer on Peer by Anha Jedka, powered by Content Studio. Thank you so much for tuning in. Follow, share, subscribe, like for more, and we will be back with the super
Ho gaya
exciting
aapka?
episode.
Ho gaya aapka? Let me do my job.
Fine.
Shanti.
Fine, do it.
Thank you, Rabia. Thank you so much. Actually, genuinely, thank you so much for coming. It was amazing having you and getting to know more about, you know, pageantry and everything. It was amazing. I had a blast talking to you.
No, it was a pleasure being here as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, that was amazing. And just like Rabia said a few minutes ago, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff for more updates, more content. We'll be seeing you in the next episode. Thank you so much.